Good morning, my beautiful brothers and sisters. Sorry, I'm just holding the camera with my hand, so it's going to be a little wobbly. I just want to make sure the sound's okay. How's everybody doing today? I pray that you're getting some much needed rest out of the system and spending some time with the Lord. My daughter and my wife have gone to visit her sister, so I'm just spending some time studying. And I wanted to share something that that I read through the good word that our Father put on my spirit that I want to share with you guys. So I'm reading Hebrews and I'm on chapter 2. And let me find the verse here, you guys. There it is. We'll start at verse 14. For as much then as the children are partakers of the flesh and blood, he also himself likewise took part of the same, that through death he might destroy him that had the power of death, that is, the devil, and deliver. I just had breakfast, my gut's just making noise, so pardon me, guys, sorry. Verse 15, and deliver them who through fear of death were all their lifetime subject to bondage. Let me read this again, you guys. And deliver them who through fear of death were all their lifetime subject to bondage. And I pulled back from this and just was thinking, meditating on it. And I could hear our Father say, you don't die. So I want you to think about this, you guys. So what happens when you die? Okay. You get translated from flesh to spirit. So the flesh goes back to the dust of the earth and your spirit is released. Okay? So we don't really die, you guys, if you think about it. As it states in verse 15 here, and deliver them who through fear of death, the fear of it, okay, not death, the fear of death were all their lifetime subject to bondage. So by being scared of dying, you're enslaved in fear. And if you think about it, you guys, you don't actually die. Only the people around you see you die because you go to sleep. Your vessel is left behind, and now you're translated into the spirit. Now, the ones that are scared of death, if you think about it, are they truly actually scared of the moment of sleep? Like, are they worried of the car accident or drowning or fire or the various different tools in ways in which our Father can take you? But as you go through things, I'll even show you guys here. So look at my arm, okay? When that happened, I didn't have any pain. And I don't know how else to explain that to you than I didn't have any pain. I had fear, but I didn't have any pain. And so my fear was at the moment was of death. And so what does that tell you? And praise be to God. This is the purpose of our testimonies, you guys. Being scared of death shows that you have work to do because you're not actually worried of dying. You're worried about where you're going after. And so although many people here in the world, if they have a fear of death, it's because they have a fear of the unknown of what's going to happen or where they're going to go after. And the only reason why you would have fear of what's going to happen after is if you had that common sense or feeling of knowing that you're not going to the right place, that you're not going to eternal life through the kingdom. So when you finally develop a relationship with Jesus Christ and he has removed the fear period from you, but the fear of death, it means you're at that point you're excited to be translated. You're excited to move from this state over to the next. So therefore, the fear and bondage of death has been delivered from you. I hope you guys all picked up on that, because wow, God is so good, you guys. Death is an illusion. Death is as it says here in verse 14, you guys, that through death he might destroy him, and that had the power of death, that is the devil. It says right there that the power that is held over you of death, that's looked upon as being negative, is a tool of the devil. And the fear thereof, and it's a sign. If you're scared to die, and take this moment to understand yourselves, you guys, if you have the fear of death right now, that means we have work to do, that we're not ready. And so praise Jesus Christ, we have one more day. Hi, Chevy. How's my buddy? Hey, how are you doing? My God's just making noises like crazy. Hi, Chevy. I'm just saying hi. Do you want to say hi, Chevy? Do you want to say hi? I just had cereal, so he wants to drink my milk. Anyways, brothers and sisters, it was put on my spirit to share this with you. If you have any worry of death, or you have any fear of death, it's not the actual act itself. It's the, wondering of what's going to happen next, or where I'm going to go next. And all that is an example to show you that we need to continue to work on our faith. Hebrews is such a great a testimony in the good book, because it talks about faith. This morning, and the reason why I'm reading Hebrews, I heard God tell me to read Hebrews, and I heard Hebrews chapter 11, and sure enough, brothers and sisters, that my morning verse of Hebrews chapter 11 was verse 6, and I'm going to read it to you right now here. Sorry, I know the camera's all over the place. I got a tail in front of me. How you doing, buddy? It's okay. Sit down. So we got Hebrews chapter 11. I'm just going to read you 1 to 6, okay? Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. For by the elders obtained a good report. Through faith we understand that the worlds, and I had to look up worlds, because at first I'm like, there's more than one world. But worlds in Hebrew, in Strong's, means a time frame, a generation. So, for by the elders obtained a good report. Through faith we understand that the worlds were framed by the word of God, so that things which are seen were not made of things which do appear. By faith Abel offered unto God a more excellent sacrifice than Cain, by which he obtained witness that he was righteous, God testifying of his gifts. And by it he, being dead, yet speaketh. By faith Enoch was translated, that he should not see death, and was not found, because God had translated him. For before his translation he had this testimony, that he pleased God. And now verse 6 that was given to me this morning. But without faith it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. Wow. This shows you right here, brothers and sisters, as we all know, it's about a relationship. It's not about the fleeting moment of going to a four-wall church for an hour of your week to do the regular rigmarole of going through the motions of a mass and then leaving, all the while to sin in the parking lot on the way out. We need to develop a relationship with God that is different than the sense of the word or what you've been taught in school or Bible classes in the beginning. You see, I see a lot of people that go to church but have no relationship with God because they've never actually talked to him. And although you say prayer, a lot of times prayer becomes robotic with what? No feeling. So if you don't have any feeling with your prayer, you're just saying it. They're just vain words. They're just, and if you look at even like a rosary, it's just vain repetition over and over and over and over. There's no feeling in that conversation. It's almost like, do you remember when you used to, if a child did something wrong and you made a child say what they did wrong, and sometimes they're like, yes, Mom, I won't do that again. They didn't mean it. They said it, but they didn't mean it. To truly mean it is to actually give it thought and to care about it enough so that you feel it when you say it. And that goes the same when you speak with our Creator. Talk to Him just like you're having a regular, beautiful, loving conversation with anybody else that you've ever loved. Because those are the bonding moments that you share with Him. Not the little, forced moments that you see a lot of other faiths do. And so what I'm trying to explain here today, you guys, I had a good conversation with my daughter last night, and we were talking about things that we see and the earth, and God is finally, praise be to God, opening up her eyes so that she understands it. And we were talking a little bit about space and about aliens and about just that kind of stuff, because she's starting to get an interest in the supernatural. And I could feel God guiding our conversation and explaining to her that not all the things that you think you see is what you're actually seeing. And she knows without a doubt that the ruler of this place, the devil, will do whatever he needs to do or say whatever he needs to say, just like in the Garden of Eden, to trick us into believing the lie. And so she knows that. So I was trying to explain to her, every system that we see, whether it be monetary, so money, or the school system, or government, any kind of institution where there's power or money or greed or evil, it is controlled by our enemy. And so therefore, every piece of information that comes out of any of these institutions, you have to discern them with the eyes of Jesus Christ in order to actually to see what they're trying to do. And so she got it, you guys. Like, praise Jesus. I actually watched her get it and to get excited. And then it gone on into this conversation about, stars and that kind of stuff. And in the conversation actually started by us seeing one star in the sky. And I asked her if she had ever seen a picture of a star before. And so she was excited because she kept bugging me when I got home to see it. And so I showed her that someone took a picture of a star with a P1000, Nikon P1000 camera. And I know you've all seen it. It's just this beautiful, it looks like a cell, a glimmering, constantly moving, almost like it's in water past a very hard surface, glimmering. And I saw when she looked at it that she realized that, wow, this is something she'd never seen before. And right away, my wife she allowed the enemy in because she didn't believe it right away. Right. She was just like, no, that's just like what, and so then my daughter even said to her, Mom, have you ever seen a star up close before? And she said, well, no. And so then my daughter said, well, then how do you know? How do you know that this is a lie? Well, because something told my wife in her spirit that it was a lie. No, that's crazy. Throw your daughter off track. He's trying to teach her something important. Stop it, stop it, stop it. You see the war that's happening in the background. Ephesians 6:12, for we wrestle not with flesh and blood. You actually, when you finally see things through the eyes of discernment through Jesus Christ, you see the spiritual war that's happening in the background. And therefore, through Jesus Christ, are equipped with the tools needed to combat it. And so for me, my tool is patience, you guys, and to make sure that I have discipline when it comes to my tongue, because your tongue is your worst weapon against you. And so I was guilty and still do battle with this, speak out of turn or too much, or not know when to stop talking, probably like right now. Sorry, guys, I love you. We need a little laugh. We do. We have to laugh, you guys. This world is too intense for us to not have to have a good chuckle from time to time. But that is my battle, is to know when to stop. And so I find now, especially with all the things that are happening in the world, as far as the spiritual battle, that I leave my wife alone, and the more I step back and leave it alone, the more she actually starts to see it on her own, because she's starting to trust that voice that's inside of her, which is Jesus Christ. So anyways, you guys, this is probably 10 minutes longer than I wanted to be, as they usually are, but I love you. I love you very much. I pray you're all having an amazing day, enjoying your Sabbath, taking a much needed rest out of this beast system. Spend some time with the Lord today, you guys. Make every second count. I love you all dearly. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if you're going to probably get another one of these today. So God bless. Take care. Goodbye.